I found these tan socks from Dollar Tree. You want to make sure that you do get the long tube socks instead of the ankle ones. That'll just make this so much easier. Grab a large mug or cup, place that sock right inside, and then I am using some of this white rice, also came from Dollar Tree. I used about a half of the bag. So as you're adding the rice, just continue to push it down so that way you could add more. And this just helps fill up that sock while it is inside of the mug. Go ahead and take that sock right out. Make sure all that rice is pushed to the bottom, and then just kind of play around with it until you get the shape that you want. I didn't have any rubber bands. You could use rubber bands to tie this off. I ended up just using a zip tie. It's just going to be covered anyways. Then I just cut off that excess, and now you should have what looks kind of like a giant potato. Next up, I am just grabbing some of this raffia. You could also find from Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby or any craft store. I just measured it to the bottom of the sock and then just cut the raffia down to size. And then I just began hot gluing it to the bottom of the sock, about halfway in between the top and the bottom. This is going to act as the gnome's beard. Rather than using that faux fur, I just thought this was super cute to do. And if the raffia is just a little too long, go ahead and give that beard a nice little haircut until you are satisfied to how it looks. And then next up, I got this wooden bead. You could find this in the wood section at Hobby Lobby. And I did just have some of this natural burlap fabric. I'm just going to place the wooden bead right into the center, apply some hot glue, and all I'm doing is just wrapping that bead with this burlap. You want to just make sure that the entire bead is completely covered, allow that glue to harden, and then just cut off any of that excess. This is going to be the gnome's nose, so you always want to kind of put the gnome's nose kind of in the middle of the sock and just hold that down until it is completely adhered. And now for the gnome's hat, I got a pair of pants as a hand-me-down from my stepdad. I'm just using the pant leg of the pants, just cut it down to size, to what size I wanted the hat to be. Cut that fabric right into the middle. This is just going to make it so much easier to glue around the gnome. So I just wrapped it around the gnome so that way I could find what size the hat is going to have to be. Just so you don't have that much excess, go ahead and just cut any of that excess right off. But you do want to make sure that the entire fabric is wrapped around the gnome's body. Once you have that all figured out, now we are just going to go ahead and start gluing the pant leg or fabric of your choice around the gnome. So I just kind of folded the bottom of it to create a little flap, and then just hot gluing it. I kind of have it overlapping the gnome's nose just so it's kind of covered. You don't have to do it that way. If you want the entire bead to be showing, by all means do that. And then just literally just hot glue the bottom of that pant leg all around the middle of the gnome. And once you have that all covered, you then just want to hot glue the cut edge of the gnome to make sure that this fabric is completely enclosed. And just allow that glue to completely dry. And then just to give this hat just a little bit more height, I did grab some of this polyfill. You can find this at any Hobby Lobby or craft store. So just fill up the hat to your liking. You might have to play around with it until you get the shape and size that you like. And just look at how adorable he is coming out. I am loving him. I then just cut a little bit of excess off of the tip of the hat. I did end up tying some jute string around the bottom of the hat, but I just took it right off. And then at the opening, at the tip of the hat, I ended up hot gluing some more raffia right inside of it. And if your raffia is a little long, go ahead and trim that up as well. I then just scrunched it up And then I am just using a piece of jute string, just wrapping it around the tip of that hat and then just tying it in a double knot. And y'all, can you stand this cuteness? I just love it. And then next up, in that little flap that I created in the front of the hat, I just hot glued a little bit more raffia. I went totally crazy with the raffia, but trust the process, it just comes out so cute. I then had this black and white buffalo check ribbon. I just cut it into a little square. Added a little bit more raffia down before I applied that buffalo check ribbon. Just hold that raffia down until it dries. Add a little bit of hot glue on the back of the ribbon. Hold that down on top of the raffia. And then I saw that there were some buttons on the pan, so I said, why not? Let's use that as well. I just hot glued that right on top of the buffalo check ribbon. And there you go, guys. How stinking cute did this come out? I hope this inspires you to create your own. If it did, please be sure to sprinkle the love. Thank you so much, and I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.